What a difference a day makes. I can't sing. I can't sing. But yeah, that's what a difference a day makes. Just yesterday, I sat in the same chair right after the press conference talking about yes, they fired Bobby Johnson. Yes, they got rid of Thomas McGay, and then there were expectations of keeping Wink staying and expectations of Kafka staying, and then just a short 4 hours later, you realize that Wink Martindale has resigned, whatever that means, and Mike Kafka there's no news on Mike Kafka yet, and radio silence from the New York Giants, coming from the New York Giants. And you have to get your news from everywhere but where you want your news to come from. And I'm just sitting here, so yesterday was the shock, if you want to call it shock. There was murmurs, there was rumors, there were a lot of things circling around about Wink Martindale possibly not being here, and then Kafka also not being there, and the New York Giants, losing both coordinators and this, that, and the third. And it seems like all of that stuff is true. We don't know what's going on with Kafka yet, at least not yet. It's early in the morning again. I haven't seen an update regarding Mike Kafka yet. So I'm assuming he is still with the New York Giants, just like Wink is. He handed in his resignation. We'll see what the terms and the terms and everything has to do with that, later. Later, hopefully we get more news. Hopefully we do that. But here's the thing: this is what I want to talk to the Giants fans, because there's a whirlwind of emotions going on here, and hopefully I can bring some light to the situation. It's a lot of dark going on right now, but hopefully I can bring some light to the situation or some resolve, right? So you can think about it like this. It's a bad breakup, right? You have three things that can happen. You can either be depressed, you can turn into a stalker, or you can move on. The New York Giants just need to move on. The fan base, we need to move on. We can still feel a certain way. We could talk about it, this, that, and the third, but I'm talking about raw emotions. And not everybody feel how you want to feel. I'm just saying, for me, I have to move on. If somebody did not want to be here for whatever reasons, if you have the head coach and the OC clashing, so whether or not whether we saw it on the field or we didn't see the clashing on the field, if it's that stressful of an environment to work in, ultimately it was going to fail, in the long run anyway. So that's going to be the way that I think about it. And for me, I've been a New York Giants fan all my life. I was a New York Giants fan before Dable got here, before Wink got here, and when those guys are gone, I'm still going to be a New York Giants fan. Yes, am I disappointed? I'm absolutely disappointed. I felt like Wink was the best coach on the staff. I believe that the defense was heading in the right direction. I believe that he was getting the best out of these players. Dexter Lawrence, all pro contract. There's a lot of things to be upset about. There's a lot of things to be mad about. And yes, I felt all of that, and I'm still processing all of that. But at the end of the day, the truth is, Wink is gone. Wink is gone. We have to move on, and hopefully we move on to something better, just like in real life. If your girl break up with you, if your guy break up with you, what you gonna do? Either be depressed, turn into a stalker, or move on. And hopefully, you guys can move on, because I have moved on. Now the story has a lot of layers to it. Like, obviously Jay Glazer dropped the bombshell a few weeks back, and it's just you're sitting here wondering. I'm like, no, this has to be BS. But one thing that we have learned, if Jay Glazer reports it, no matter how you feel personally, no matter how much in denial like I was, it's most likely true. It is. Jay Glazer is batting. If he's not batting 1,000, he is 900. Is way up there. His batting average is way up there. And whatever that man says from now on, I'm just going to expect it to be the truth. It's going to be gospel. It's going to be gospel. And like I said, it is what it is. But the storylines, and shout out to Talking Giants. I usually don't like to watch other content creators before I do videos. They had the early drop this morning. They were talking about Wink Martindale, and they had a lot of points. I only watched half the episode. I didn't get a chance to see the whole thing yet, because I wanted to make my own video, and I don't want to be influenced before I get my thoughts out and my opinions out. I like to feel authentic. I should say that. But I'm like, Bobby Skinner, first of all, was fiery. Shout out, I like the cursing, cussing Bobby Skinner. I like Justin Pinnock trying to mediate and be the voice of reason, and that's good chemistry for those guys. But I had to turn it off because I'm like, yo, I'm getting too influenced by these guys. Let me go ahead and stop this. Put my camera on and share my own thoughts before I finish their video. But again, they did make a lot of points. And some of the points I made yesterday too, whether tweets or in spaces. And the biggest concern is, do we go from a 3-4 to a 4-3? And I shut it off right when Bobby Skinner started to talk about that, because that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. Outside of like the outside of like the defensive line and those assignments and techniques, the second level too with the linebackers, cornerbacks, safety, they're going to play the same. I do believe that you won't see a lot of change if we do end up going to a 4-3, because Bobby Okereke came from a 4-3. Micah McFadden at Indiana played in a 4-3. And then there's a lot of hybrid stuff going on around the NFL. So I don't think it affects the linebackers as much as it does the defensive line. And here's the thing. Dexter Lawrence, okay, he blossomed in a 3-4. He blossomed as a nose tackle. So you want to keep a lot of those schemes the same where he is lined up where he's lined up. But also, to me, I think that Dexter Lawrence has transcended. I believe that Dexter Lawrence has made that evolution where, he's just dominant wherever you line him up, whether it's over the center, whether it's in between the center and the guard, or whether it's between the guard and the tackle. I think he's just a dominant player. Do I want to change him? Absolutely not. But I'm just saying, as far as scheme goes, I believe Dexter Lawrence can do whatever you ask for. But in my opinion, he needs to be still a nose tackle. So have a hybrid front and work things out that way. That's just my opinion. The whole story though with Wink Martindale, the Wilkins brothers, the outside linebacker coach and his brother were a package deal when it came to Wink, kind of like how Jihad Ward, quote unquote, is a package deal when it comes to Wink. And the story was like, okay, as soon as they fired those two guys, Wink Martindale was like, those are my guys, I'm leaving with my guys. That's what we're getting. That's a part of the story that we're getting. I wish it was official. I wish somebody could verify that, but that's what the rumors are now. And for me, I take it two ways. Okay, yes, you're loyal to those guys, those brothers. And then, so that's stand up. But then also, Wink, you're almost 60. If you're not 60 something already, it's about your career at the end of the day. Do you have that type of cachet to bring these guys? Because I'm assuming you're going to bring these guys wherever you go next, your next destination, wherever that is. Obviously, I'm assuming you don't plan on golfing because, the way you felt about these guys. And hopefully you do get a job somewhere else. Wink, hopefully it's not in the NFC East, though. Hopefully, in the way that it looks like, because you resigned and you weren't fired, the New York Giants do have control, a little bit of control, if they want to play that card of where you can go. So with that being said, it's like I want to move on past it, but I still want more of this story, and I really want to know what's going on. So there's going to be a lot of coaches that need to be replaced. And a big discussion yesterday is possible candidates for the defensive coordinator role. And even before the news dropped about Wink Martindale, yes, I talked about Leslie Frazier. He's not chopped liver. I was listening to a couple spaces and read a couple tweets yesterday, and they talked about Andre Patterson. They talked about Jerome Henderson and stuff like that. And when you really think about it, Jerome Henderson is a gem. Andre Patterson is a gem. When you look at those two coaches, the positions they coach, and what we got out of those players in those rooms, these guys are very, very important to retain. And I think you need to do whatever it takes to retain those guys. You want to see Deonte Banks continue to grow. You want to see Dexter Lawrence continue to be better. You want to see Jordan Riley, grow, Davison grow. You want to see these guys continue to improve. The inside linebacker coach is still here. The outside linebacker coach, and looking at that video that Talking Giants made, when they bring up the stats and they talk about the rankings for the outside linebackers, we weren't getting the best out of these outside linebackers. Yeah, I can see that. When you go back and you're just watching with your eyes and not the stats, you can see that. Why is Kayvon Thibodeau dropping back in coverage? Why is Jihad Ward, doing hook to curl? Why do we have why are we not getting pressure from the linebackers, from the edge rushers, like we should be? And again, these are all questions that need to be answered. And at the end of the day, certain things had to happen. I'm now that I have more information, now that I slept on it, now that I have a new perspective of what happened, and a lot of the stuff that was going on in the background, to me it seems like it had to happen. So it's a shame that Wink Martindale is no longer the defensive coordinator for the New York Giants, but at the end of the day, we got to move on. We can be mad, we can be upset, but it doesn't change the fact that you guys, me, we're New York Giants fans. No matter who the coach is, no matter who some of the players are, no matter who the GM is, we're New York Giants fans, and we're going to ride this ship, whether it's rocky, whether it's smooth. We're going to ride this ship to the end. So that's going to be my quick video about the aftermath of Black Monday. Again, some things, some shockers, some things that we expected, some things that we were happy about, and then a lot of more questions and things like that. So yeah, that's going to be the video. So I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.